Welcome to my Vlog 5 on agility. The agility test I'm going to do today is the reactive agility test. It's a test that's been studied before in Australian rules football, netball and rugby league. Here's one of the studies that used it in rugby league players and a diagram of the drill. So it's a step forward or a movement forward and then a change on response to a human stimulus. Here's the first 4 trials that I did. So you can see I'm standing ready, reacting to the tester in front. The direction they go is the direction that I have to take off and sprint 5 meters to that change. A couple of things you'll probably see and will pick up from looking at this is that probably don't accelerate fully through the full entire test. I think I got more concerned with just trying to read the reaction and move in a direction before doing anything else. You probably noticed in my third step I took a backward step. I've used different movement strategies to get off the line and go. So a half step there and then a push to the side, a backward step, a lean forward and a split step. So trying to find what was the best response and movement pattern for me to use. My start position is pretty good. Athletic posture, ready to go. Probably a little bit too much of a forward torso lean. Just trying to anticipate and get that momentum, center of gravity out in front to help that change of direction. And was possibly just thinking about it a little too much, trying to do it for the first time. So that was my first trials, and then I went and did a little bit of sort of intervention practice. And here's some sort of example. Just this is what you'll see here is just sort of practicing a split step. It's a movement familiar to me from having played tennis years ago, and I thought that was probably the most appropriate strategy to use for me to be reactive off the there. Also tried just doing some single leg plyometric lateral hops, lateral steps, plyometric jumps, just to try and energize the system a bit more to be reactive and understand the movement I have to do and what skill I have to do and what capacity I have to call on as well. It was also a bit more about mentally preparing for the test, anticipating that, picking up on the cues, seeing it, and then being able to take off and go. And the other part was really focusing on trying to take that step and accelerate off that first step, that change of direction step, really drive out of that, be prepared for it and move forward. So after sort of all this trialing and thinking about it, I came back and had my second attempts. And so as we can see, the intervention has worked. So here it is again. So you can instead of employing the split step, a little bit more focused on that acceleration as well. So trying to get out there and really keep the whole movement at speed rather than just that change of direction. You also see there's a more assured first and definite first step. So really looking a step forward, plant and really drive off and then keep that acceleration going. In terms of trying to pick up on the cues, I try to sort of work out to look at the hips and the feet a bit more, because that's where the cue is going to come from as to which direction my colleague was going to step. Probably over focused a bit on that, whereas in the first trials I try to anticipate where she was going. Here I try to really focus on it, but it possibly made my reaction times a bit slower because I'm more worried about trying to watch the cues and be definite of which way it goes. So the key points for me were, like all agility drills, having a low body position. With this drill and other aspects of sport, reading the cues and practicing reading the cues, and that separates, as we know, expert from novice performers. But also training the required movement skills and capacities to do the movements that you need for agility. So the strength required and the skill of changing direction, decelerating, and the capacities of plyometrics and strength capacities as well. And the RAD has, the ROT has variations as well. Did try like a walk-up start, to simulate more in motion, which you can do past the cones, react the same way. And you could do this with the next one shows as a flying start as well. So you increase your speed coming in to make the turn. So there's a 3 meter lead in here in this example and 6 meters up before you have to then change or can change in that period. So you can see you're reacting to a human stimulus. This has also been done with a video projector as well. So rather than a human, it's a video projection of someone actually doing a sporting movement. So in agility, so like in a netball or rugby league to do it. Thanks very much for your time for watching.